Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Disciples Liberation, kicking off exactly from where I finished the last video, as usual. We've discovered, well, we already know that we can't go that way just because we killed that guard. One thing which is important to note in this game is you don't always have to do all the fights. All the fights you have, all the other armies or characters you can fight, they always have that cross sword depicted above the character, but you don't always have to fight them. In fact, there's quite a lot you don't have to fight. It's all choice. So this one is the Reaper. It doesn't say we have to fight him. Sometimes if you get into a conversation, it ends up in a conflict. Also, often whether you talk to them or not, once you approach one of these armies that you can fight, because you'll want to kind of sometimes see like what kind of army it is, and it will usually show you. But once you approach them, they'll automatically engage with you, and often you can choose to retreat. Sometimes you can't, and also there's a thing where you can only retreat once. So for example, sometimes you can be like, for example, say that was one, that's a talk character, so you won't have the same dynamic. If it was just a regular battle, then it would have who's in the army and you could decide whether you want to fight. But anyway, that's a character you can actually engage with. But for example, if it was a normal army and you could fight them, you'd walk there and then they'd very quickly start pursuing you and you could run away. But then if there was another army here and you ran near that one and it started coming towards you, you couldn't retreat from both, or if you retreated from this one and then went back, you couldn't retreat twice in a row. So there's a few little dynamics. None of them are bad or good, they're just what it is, but you won't know until you play, but you'll get used to them. But they are things that will affect kind of how you manage the world, so, and how you manage your playthrough. So let's just go around here, because like I said, we haven't got to fight him. You often find these little things, when there's the two little arrows, the two little gold arrows above something, it means you can interact. That's gold, and it's just gold for the taking, so we'll have that. There's a guy there. Now, as I said before, when they're just story-driven armies, they're just there to fight basically. You'll see from the picture of the army who's in the army, and there you can see exactly as I was hoping. It will show you. There's the battle, and it says we can retreat or we can fight, which is ready. The thing below the two of those, where it says conquer, what that would be is it won't affect us now, but later on when you're a higher level, to save time when you fight armies or try to take over buildings, mills and mines, etc., where you're over leveled or you're higher ranking than the ones you're fighting, it'll give you the option to just conquer them and you don't have to actually go into the fight, and it's up to you whether you do that. I think you probably get less level up points for doing it, but also you don't really take much damage, so it's a choice. If you enjoy the battles a lot, you want to do it. I would probably guess, like most people, you'll want to fight all the battles, and then later on, when you kind of know what you're doing and you've done it a lot, you won't want to fight every battle for every mill and every cave. But anyway, so just for the sake of it, we'll retreat from this one, because we don't particularly need to fight them. I'm just showing you the kind of layout. Come round here, there's another lump of gold which we'll have. Now that thing there, which is another thing I wanted to show you, that's a gold mine, which I've been talking about, the different mines, these lumber mills, mines, things you can take over, which will give you resources for your, which will be sent directly to your castle, Yillian. And there you can see, that's the army there, and we could fight them. It says to you where it says production plus 85 power, that's what that's your income from if we conquer that building. They're all 5 level and we're level 2, and they've got 5 in their unit, and okay, we've got more, but we're all 1 and 2, so I don't think we'll fight them just yet. Okay, so any character that's got that with a question mark, that means they're not necessarily going to be a fight character. Even the ones that you can talk to, you don't always have to fight them, is dialogue choices I showed you in the last video. But the ones with the question mark, they're not going to be a fight. They're going to be someone who's either just going to be a person to talk to, they're going to have a story, maybe a side quest or maybe a main quest. So let's just talk to her. We arrive at the once lively village of Guessagaingaming, and we're overcome by the scene before us. It's all very bad, obviously it's like a war zone, people are dead and dying. And there's a priestess,
if you're wounded,
whose name is Cassandra.
Until then.
Yeah, she seems nice. At least she didn't try and kill us yet, so that's always a good sign.
I'm fine. As for you, there were supposed to be priestesses here.
And we've been sent to talk to her, so that's the character he needs to find.
Purify the rebels. Yes.
So we go through, like I said, there's quite a lot of this dialogue.
Someone or something is attacking Guessagaingaming in the night, including my sisters. The villagers say it's a curse. They call it the ghost of the veil.
But I would always advise you to, like I said, even if you get to one of those dialogues where there's a lot of it, I would advise you not to just press and script through it too quickly, because sometimes you'll miss something and you'll end up with a bit where there's a choice or a question and you won't know what you're answering or why, or whether there's a particular thing you need to do or say. So although they do need, you can skip them reasonably quickly. Sometimes they're quite funny as well and they're quite interesting. So I would say in this game the dialogue and the characters are quite funny. They're often a bit over the top. The voice acting is quite appropriate for the sort of game it is, and to get the most out of the game, I wouldn't skip through anything other than the most randomly boring conversations, because you'll miss a lot of the story and you'll miss a lot of the kind of immersion in the game. So there you go. We're fighting a thing called the Ghost of the Veil. That sounds bad. She's the last priestess. And there you see, you get a lot of dialogue sometimes, so you'll kind of need to know what's been said. Yeah, let's ask her why they send priestesses. That sounds like a good question.
I'd have expected soldiers. That's what you Veil folk do, isn't it? Kill, burn, terrorize. You get the idea. Of course not. The rebels aren't villains, but victims.
The little portraits that they have for these dialogue things, they're quite well done because they express emotion quite well. I think it's a good choice. I think in lots of games they would have kind of gone with the kind of two people just standing looking at each other talking, which doesn't add anything particular. And I think that this is fine, it's good, it fits with the game again. I think the game's worked out what it's doing and it does it well. So, you know, this little dialogue with the two little portraits when you're talking to people that kind of make expressions, and I think that's good for this game. Wouldn't work in all games, but... what happened to your sister?
You mean to say the priestesses are dead? My sisters are in the arms of the High Father now.
You don't always need to ask all these things, and again it depends, you know, what the character is. Sometimes there'll be interesting things, sometimes you'll want to know because it's interesting, sometimes you won't need to ask all the things.
The people of Guessagaingaming are kinder than I expected them to be, truth be told.
Yeah, good question. If everyone else is dead, why is he still alive?
You're either a very unique priestess or a spy. Neither. We sisters prefer benevolence to brutishness. They set off for the wood to do their good work and were killed for it. I remained here.
One of the things you'll notice, which I like about this game, is the Aviana character, the Us character. She's not like overly sentimental, sympathetic, and I think that's good. You could easily have done this, or they could have done it where she's kind of really sweet and she wants to help everybody and she cares about everyone, but she's not. You can see how she's talking to this. This is a priestess who's in a war zone, who's been helping people, and we're quite hostile towards her. We don't trust her, and I think that works well as well. I think it would be a different kind of game if she was the Aviana character was sympathetic and kind to everybody and always nice, because she's a thief and a mercenary, and that's what she's been doing. She's not going to be that kind of person, and in some games they ignore your kind of background and suddenly make you into a kind of lovely hero character, but I think they've kind of adjusted her well to how she would be, which is good. Okay, we need to go to the castle. We don't need to ask all these questions now.
Remain to help Equishine. Honorable for a servant of the Vale, but that puts us at odds. Oh, so long as there are rebels, the gates to the Hail remain closed. I need them open.
That's good. We're not really interested in her. We want to get to the castle, and we don't really, other than a little bit of chit chat, we're not really bothered about her.
Grant you access. But I'm not leaving so long as the ghost of the Vale brings suffering to Equishine. These aren't war wounds, but animal in nature. The attack started in the wood the night the prior arrived.
And then you kind of see how this is working, which is kind of like in almost every game where you meet a character and somewhere in it there's going to be a sort of side quest that continues you into the main quest. So that's what this is going to be.
Everyone will think he's doing a bit of rebel hunting. They do, even though the ghost killed my sisters as well. We'll never win the trust of the people if they think we bring curses with us. The solution is plain.
So we can kill rebels, or we can kill the beast. Looking at what this story is, and we want to help her to help us to get into the castle. We want her on our side. We don't want to be killing rebels because we can obviously know that she's not going to like that. So she's a priestess. So we're going to kill the beast. We kill the forest beast.
Stay here and finish healing who you can. I'll kill the beast responsible. Then we ride for the Hail. Villagers brave enough to speak say it lurks in the eastern front. And be careful.
That's right, you'll require multiple quests like this one. And you can track all your quests. Sometimes you'll end up with loads and loads. When I first started playing this, I kind of was just sort of ambling around the game, kind of following the main quest and not really paying much attention to things. And then I kind of realised later on that I had lots of quests that I'd never really followed through, or I didn't bother following through, or I couldn't find something, and then I went back and did most of them. So. But you can always go back and track them, and you can always go back and do them. So, okay, we've found out what we need to do. We need to kill the forest beast. Like I said, that little white, bluey coloured arrow always shows you the way you need to go. Sometimes you'll get to a point where you're following that arrow and that won't be the way through. Like there'll be a block and you'll have to kind of go around, but you'll always know the direction, which is good. So we can see like there, you think there might be a road there, but you can see there's not. So we're going to go around here. Again, there's lots of wood for free. Free wood is good. And there's more wood, you like that. And then there's a lumber mill which we could kind of fight, but we're not going to because how do we get through there? So yeah, there's a lumber mill which we could capture. Let's talk to him. An old shrine shrouded in overgrowth, moaning echoes from inside. Okay, so she said come back later, so okay, that can mean a lot of things. May mean we're not ready to do that mission, it may be that there's something else. Keeps wanting us to capture that. So for want of... I think we'll capture that then. Okay, so we captured that building and apparently there was no army, so we didn't need to fight anybody. I wondered why it said capture and there was no army there saying what the opposition strength was, and that's why. So there you go, we've got a lumber mill, our first building, 190 per hour of wood, which will be sent directly to our castle. There's some more random wood lying about. You get these things sometimes, where there's various obstacles, and as you can see there it says requires a companion who can clear vines. So you'll have different things, different energies and things where a certain companion you'll have will be able to clear them and you'll be able to get to something, and we haven't got any companions. Well, we have, but we've not got anyone who can clear vines, so we can't go that way. So we kind of, I think the thing we want to do is to go around there, but we can't get around there, so see that's probably the beast that we want to kill. Oh, maybe it's that way. Okay. Yes, we found the beast. We've also found some gold. Always pick up all these things because you never know when you... Well, if that is another meal that we can just have for free, which is really good, without having a fight. And then we're going to fight the were-leopard. Okay, as I said before, and I'll do it myself, you can always save as long as it's not in a battle, and I would always recommend, there you go, you just save like that, because you can't save in a battle, and we've already done a few things since we got here, so it'd be annoying to have to go back and do all those little conversations again. And so this is a were-leopard we're going to fight him. I've got no recollection of this battle. Hulking beast lurking in the shadows, sounds lovely. And it's asleep. And it's guarding something, a priestess. Weird.
Please, kill the thing. I beg you.
Yeah. Stay calm, we'll be back doesn't sound like a very good response, so we'll kill the beast if we can.
1, 2, now.
Okay, so you'll never know as well, because sometimes when you have these specific kind of story side quest battles, it won't necessarily tell you the strength before you do it. So you can see these two very frightening werewolf looking things, but they're only level 2 and we're level 2 and we've got quite a few people, so we should be okay, he said. Famous last words. I mean, later on, when you have a lot more possibilities in the units you have, and you have companions, more companions, then you can often work out what ones you'll need for certain missions. You'll probably, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you'll probably have favourite ones that you always want to use anyway. But you'll have other ones that will have a specialist ability. Sometimes on certain missions, you'll have to bring a specific companion because it's related to them. Which is like most games, there'll be missions where you have to bring a certain character, but you can certainly decide like which of these subsidiary, units you bring. These soldiers later on will have other units, and we could decide, well, melee units like that won't be any use. Sometimes lots of melee units will be very useful, so it all depends. So, and the same with the backline, you can change that as often as you wish. So we can see what that is. It's not very nice. You can see there's some squares, but the squares aren't always things to help you, so be careful of those. So that one's a seal of confusion, we don't want that. That one, you can tell it's burning, it's not going to be good. So that's like deals primal damage and burning damage, surprise. The green one over there is going to be something good, because we've seen that before, that's regen, but that's quite a way. So, okay, so we know what we're fighting. It's going to be a werewolf, it's probably going to do melee, so let's put him in his invisible cloak, and then we'll kind of try and creep round so we can flank these werewolf things.
Now you see me.
We don't really want her to engage with these, because there's no point while we've got these two guys, so I'm going to let them basically I'm going to let them, we can't do anything from there, so I'm going to let those two guys take the flak, which is, sometimes that's what you use these basic melee units for. They're kind of there to protect main characters or range characters. So if he wants to, oh, okay, he's not going to kill them yet. So, okay, now you can see from the top. That's always useful. Always check with the little game order at the top, because it's very important actually to know where your characters are going to go and what turn they'll get, because for example with this, now I know that my two main characters are going to go after the soldiers and the third one is one of the backline characters. Then I know that it's worth me trying to get these guys into a place where I can use them for melee. So it's always useful to know the order you go in. And just give him a quick slash. And sometimes you get these units where you slash them, they slash you back. I guess that's normal in most games, is a unit like that or units like that. So yeah, we'll put him. I think we'll put him there actually. He'll slash back. Like I said, I think the animations, the graphics in this game are very good. For what it is. I mean, it's yeah,
now you see me?
I'm not going to use him. Oh, actually, we'll use him. We might as well. What can we do if we do that? Yeah, we'll kill that quite a lot actually, so we might as well. And now I think if we put her there, we can use our multiple killing thing, which will do good. And they'll slash at us, but that's fine. And again, that little thing that werewolf did when it kind of jumped a little bit before it started its own turn, that means we've inflicted some ongoing damage, which will kind of affect these things every turn. So let me tell you now, you go through a lot of these these melee basic soldier units in the game. They serve a purpose, but they die quite easily, and they'll be your basic unit. Even if you use the undead and all the other faction units, you'll use these a lot because they are what they are. They're melee. They just block up a line if you want them, which is what I was using them for. So yeah, let's just
On the offensive.
hit him a bit. We haven't got anything else we can do with him, so that one's good because he's going to have a melee because she's behind him. That's good. He'll slash back. That's fine. There's no point in me moving him because we kind of want them like that. And now this has gone like as good as it was going to go. So now we've got this one. Place where we can kill it. That little cross thing in the middle of their health bar tells you that you'll kill it. It almost always works like that. There's a few times when something doesn't get killed, but it's generally pretty accurate. So I think we might as well just go and get some health. There's no point. We've got such overwhelming odds now against this. We don't need him. Sometimes if things have got ongoing damage that you've inflicted on them, like bleeding and all the other kind of things, poison, then they'll actually just die at the beginning of their turn without you doing anything. This one, it was so close, you can see there, but he didn't quite die, but it doesn't matter because now we'll kill him. I like these animations, they're nice as well, the kill animations, and there she is, we've won. We've got 625 in gold, which will pay for a few more grunts, a few more basic soldiers, and that was quite a easy battle for something that sounded like it might be difficult. In fact, it was more difficult fighting that other army earlier than it was fighting these beasts in the forest, so that's all good. So mission completed.
So much for the Ghost of the Vale.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell Coruscant and
She's going to go and tell her
what you did here. Thank you, mercenary.
leader or her sister or whatever. She's nice. It's always good to spread the word. Treasure chest, and as you can see there's a sword which we'll get, and if you want to check, you go on here and it will show you your weapons. There's often weapons that you can't equip, so there's a weapon that we can't equip and it says there quite clearly that we can give that to somebody else later. And we've got this and this, and the sword we've got is much better than what we picked up, so that's fine, but it's always good to check. So we will go back, come around here, and we'll talk to her and tell her we did a good thing. A small celebration in our honour. Well, yeah, that's right, we killed a werewolf, or 2 werewolves. So yeah, they should be, and she's happy, that's nice.
They sing songs in your honor. I haven't heard music since I left the Priory.
Sometimes you have to do bad things, but it's good to do nice things and for everyone to celebrate. It's good. Oh, that would be horrible. Everyone sings songs in their honour and we say, I don't care. So no, let's not be that horrible. I don't know if you want to support the rebellion, let's just say we
Where
celebrate.
there's music, there's dancing.
And drink?
There's often those kind of non-committal answers, which I'll tend to give, or I suggest you give if you don't know if you want to support the rebellion or support the Empire or support the undead and da-da-da. So if it's a non-committal answer and it doesn't really make any difference, just give a non-committal answer. Cause
Especially that. The hail can wait another night. Let's...
So we had a lot of drinking, we celebrated.
Unless you have a holy prayer for him.
She obviously had a lot to drink as well. Good for her.
The Prior will need to hear about what you've done here. Very well.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to do. So I said to you we wanted to collect a new character. There you go, we've got a new character. New unit, Corisandra. She's a priestess. You can already kind of guess because what she is, what her kind of abilities might be. And that gives us a whole lot of extra things, spells we can research, things we can build, which is all good. You can replace buildings if you want. You can upgrade buildings. There's lots and lots of things you can do, and we've upgraded ourselves as well. It seems I can't remember. Like I said, it's a long time since I started this game for the first time, and I've only ever started it once from the beginning, apart from now. But at the beginning, yeah, it can seem a little bit overwhelming when you get all those things flashing up. You got this, you got that, you got this, you got something else. But although they're all relevant, and you know, it's nice to know, you don't need to like check every single thing you get. When you go back to the castle and back to the base, you'll see what you get, and you'll be able to check what you can upgrade, who you can recruit that's different. And all those extra things, spells, they're just things you'll find as you go through the game. You will go to the spell book, or you'll get a spell, you'll find you can research a new one, you'll find you can... So you don't need to worry too much about all these things, because yeah, there are quite a lot of things you get sometimes that kind of come up in a long roll of scrolling, flashing up items. So there's a health item, which like I said, always use that when you find one. I can see there's some more gold, we'll have that. So yeah, we, as you can see, I'll just show you the there you go, there's our units, and now we've got her. So, and you can check what her abilities are, because there you go, she's rains down a beam of light, which does divine damage and weakens targets, and the other thing she's got is a healing thing, which can be very useful. The healing things in this game are absolutely essential, whether people heal you themselves by just one direct power, or whether these are quite a lot of them that they fire arrows or do something and then you get healed by being near them when they do that. These healing things are essential, trust me, you'll need them, because there'll be many times in this game where you're being killed quickly, and you'll compensate that by being healed either by people that heal you or by someone who's healing you, but as a kind of bonus. And yeah, her passive ability, if she was on the back line, would also be kind of healing, blessing. So she's useful because that range attack is good because it's quite a big range 5, and you can get people from a distance, and the healing again is very useful. So she's useful. She'd be useful character to have, and one of many that you get. There's another. Gold mines are more difficult because they have, I suppose it's probably like real life. Gold mines would have soldiers and people guarding them, and maybe lumber mills, especially basic lumber mills, don't. So we've already got lumber mills. I don't think we really want to fight that gold mine. So we're going to return to the castle, but because we've already done quite a bit of the game and different explanations, I'll cut this video for now, and I'll come back here from the same point, of course. And then we'll go off to the castle with our new ally. I'll probably go back to the castle and show you some of the things that we've got there, and the new things we can do, and we'll upgrade ourselves as well. And but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another instalment of Disciples Liberation next time.